This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 170 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, I am talking to Julie Lancia of the Design Twins, and we're going to be diving into the common Instagram mistakes and how to overcome them. The interesting part about this interview is you're going to notice that Julie likes to get up on her soapbox just as much as I do, and she also likes to coach. So in the middle of this, I definitely got a little bit of coaching myself on what I have been dealing with as far as the most recent pandemic that has left us all quarantined, and how I have been avoiding Instagram because of it. Let's dive in. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Oh my gosh, Jenny, I'm wonderful. I'm so excited for this podcast, looking forward to it. And thanks for asking me.
Of course. I am so excited for you to be able to share your knowledge. Well, can you start off by introducing yourself and your business, as well as your business partner?
Sure thing. So I am Julie Lancia, and I am one of a partner team. We are the Design Twins. And my twin sister is Jody Kammerer. Even though Jody is in California and I am in Seattle, we actually created this business to link our lives. And guess what? It worked.
Perfect. No, very good. And you guys are in the process. You've had Design Twins for, how long have you had that site now for?
So we started on Instagram and just kind of, by chance, on a whim, we started and we developed our brand. We started on Instagram 2014, 2015, and we came up with our the Design Twins, probably around late 2015, and we started our blog, thedesigntwins.com, in 2016, and on from there.
Okay, very good. So let's talk a little bit about your Instagram growth success, because I think we were at a conference at the same time. I know you and I had this the last time we chatted. We kind of tried to figure out what it was, and I think it was Snap. I think we did figure that out. It was like Snap 2 or 3 years ago, and that must have been early on, but even then both of you had huge Instagram followings. How many followers do you have as of right now? About?
I have 309,000 and Jody has 280 something. We fell in love with Instagram from the early days, and in a very positive way. We were obsessed with it. And we found the home decor community, and everyone was literally so nice. And we needed and wanted friends, literally. And we were not photographers, nor were we decorators, but we've always had a love of these things. So we worked hard at the beginning, not to develop a business, but just to be less embarrassed about the photos we were sharing. And so we were excited to get better, to hone our skills and hone our crafts and become decorators and become photographers and become writers. These were all dormant skills at best. Nothing was, we're not trained in anything, but boy, are we determined, and we were just having fun with it. And then the other component, we knew that our content had to be good and we wanted it to be good. But the very exciting component was making friends, like being our authentic selves, like not selling to anyone that we were anything else. I mean, we never told anyone, that we really knew what we were doing. We came at it very genuinely, and we wanted to make friends. So we were doing just that. We didn't want to necessarily grow. We wanted to connect with people. And so we never have lost this true desire to meet, connect, and build authentic relationships. So, no matter how big we've gotten, we spend a big chunk of our day in our DMs with our people because we value every single person, and not as a strategy, although, we are, smart about it. We know how smart it is, but we genuinely want to be there.
I love the way that you brought up the piece about being authentic. You said it multiple times because I think that is it. People want to be able to connect with someone else, and you were looking to build that sense of community. So it wasn't about, what hashtags am I specifically going to use and how much time am I going to spend? It was just you went on, enjoyed sharing, tried to make friends, made it a community. And that honestly is the purpose behind Instagram. It's about building that brand and building a sense of community. So I think the way that you went about it is just so smart, and it obviously resulted in quite a bit of followers for both of you. So there are some common Instagram practices, and with the ever-changing, of course, algorithm, we never know when it is actually a common Instagram mistake. Can you walk me through 3 common Instagram mistakes and how to overcome each?
I would love to. Jody and I, we were teachers before actually we were teachers. So that was a trained profession. But we come at this, as teachers. And as soon as we started learning about Instagram, we wanted to share with others. We feel very much called to mentor and help people. People are trying to create businesses and contribute to their families and actually, kind of create something real. So besides being genuine and authentic, which we always lead with, you do need to be strategic. You need to be informed. You need to be smart because you don't have endless time. You have to. Ignorance is not bliss. You can't just go through and try to build something on Instagram because you will get banned, you will get shut down. So just because you don't know the rules doesn't make it okay. You will suffer. So the first thing, it comes under this huge umbrella. The biggest mistake is people trying to. It's called growth hacks, artificial growth hacks. People who are impatient, they see these numbers, they see these, and they're not getting the success. So it starts from ignorance, number 1, and number 2, impatience. And you see other people maybe doing it. Well, if they're doing it, must be okay. That's wrong. Or they get invitations and they just don't know better. They get invitations from companies or other people that are very nice and say, we're doing this follow for follow group, come along with us. And they don't know any better. And so they come to us after the fact and like, oh my gosh, I wish I had known. And how do you undo this damage? Because it not only will take time, money away from the activities that you need to be doing to grow a real, valuable account, but it actually undermines the health of your account and the future of your account. If you're built on followers who are not genuine followers, who are not your avatar, who are not the people who know, love, and trust you and who will buy from you and follow you, then and engage with you, it's like building a house of cards. And undoing the damage is very tricky. We've consulted with people that we had to advise to start over. It is that serious. So what are we talking about? I mentioned follow for follow. It's just ridiculous, but people are still doing it. So don't do follow for follow. don't do large giveaways. If you want to know specifically, head to our blog, because we have a 4,000 word article that we wrote to explain and convince people to stop doing these very detrimental things. It's not much different than buying your followers, and it hurts you. It will hurt you. We can't say it enough, but people still do them. But don't get lured in. So any artificial growth hack, that's also comment pods, because you are weaving a very tight web of Instagram is not dumb. They know that you are your best friends. They see the reciprocal web. It starts to be meaningless for your account. And yet all your time is spent on that activity. Are these people your future followers? No. As soon as you stop that time-consuming activity, the house of cards falls and you are nowhere. So what should you be doing? So there are so many reasons why these artificial growth hacks ruin your chances of creating something valuable. They also go after vanity metrics. People say, oh, it's the only way I grow. So that top number will grow. But what you don't realize is that your engagement is suffering, and all your future growth cares about, your future growth is dependent upon your engagement. Brands have all the facts. They have all the technology. They have the goods on you. So they will look at your engagement and they will not hire you if your engagement is low. So you are thwarted. Please, friends, if you're going to learn anything today, steer extremely clear of the growth hacks, and then your time and energy and efforts are freed up for all that beautiful content creation, all that beautiful, genuine interaction with people that will know, trust, and love you now and into the future. I'm off my box.
No, I love that it's you on the box for once and not me, because this is normally what I'm trying to preach. I'm sure everyone's shaking their head going, yep, I know why Jenny brought her on. We hear her.
But the whole time your head is nodding so furiously. I was like, yes.
That's exactly right. We talk about this all the time about just understanding who your avatar is and not worrying about the follower number, but about getting them to engage and actually build a relationship that is authentic. I loved the fact in the beginning that you talked about your DMs, because I'm constantly telling people that's where you really get them to know, like, and trust. The fact that you use those 3 words, know, like, and trust. I use that all the time. It is one of my favorite things because it's so true. That only are brands going to be bothered by the fact that your metrics are off? But if you ever want to sell a product or service yourself, you don't understand what to create for your audience, because they're all fake. They're people that you're friends with that are never going to buy your product. So I am with you on this. For sure.
It's crazy that people don't get it, and they're still trying to, I thought the word had been passed down by now, but you go on Instagram and there's still entire populations and pockets of people that haven't gotten it yet. And I feel badly for them, because it is going to be to their detriment.
Yes, and they're wasting their time on things that they could be much better spent to move their business forward. So if we're looking at Instagram right now, what do you believe is the most important feature to be using in Instagram?
Whether you're a seasoned podcaster or just thinking of starting a podcast, you need to listen to Buzzcast from the folks at Buzzsprout. Here we go! Buzzcast covers everything a podcaster should know, from marketing strategies and how to make money from your podcast to the latest and greatest tech and industry insights to keep you on the cutting edge. Follow Buzzcast by clicking the link in the description or go to buzzcast.buzzsprout.com and keep podcasting.
Oh, yeah. So this is easy. It's video. And stories, if we had to say, it's stories, because everyday stories, being in front of your followers, because it's very intimate. You come alive. More people are watching stories and are scrolling the feed because people just want to hear you. They want to see you. It's more powerful than the feed. And, gosh, we still need the feed. There's no out. You just need it all. But definitely your power lies in your stories, and you need to do all the things. You need to be extremely interactive, and you need to show your face in order to bond. So a lot of what we teach is coaching people through that. I'm an introvert. I'm like, well, you could have been, that's fine and well, but you're not going to be an introvert anymore. We are going to walk you through the process, because that's a label you've placed on yourself. It's an excuse that you've made for way too long. Now is the time. And we coach them step by step. First you're going to baby steps on narrating, just getting used to it. And then, we're like, and we challenge them every day, turn that camera around, use the fun filters. There's someone on the other side of the filter, on the other side of the phone, that doesn't feel great about themselves. They don't have a fancy haircut, and they're not as young as they were. And they're looking for role models. You being brave is, their role model. They're not looking for perfect. In fact, they're not looking for young and perfect. And if they are, maybe she's not your avatar. You need to be a strong voice, and you need to show up for your followers. And how you do that is in stories every single day. I tell people, don't let that plus sign appear.
Yes. No. And I think when it comes to stories, it's right. And I'm listening and struggling right now because I am that introvert, and I'm normally I try to be as consistent as possible on stories. And with this time of our recording, of course, we're all in pretty much quarantine. Kids are out of school because of this pandemic. And when I'm stressed, and it causes me to be less on there, I feel too almost like open and raw to be able to get onto stories. But I hear what you're saying. It does. That's
that's the time, my friend. And that's when they need you. Here is an opportunity. So you walk through there. I'm talking to you, Jenny.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, and I know how that feels. I do know how that feels. And Jody and I pick up our phones, and we put our faces on there, and we talk to our followers in this very raw, in those raw moments. Jody has cried on her. She treats her audience as her true confidants and friends. And oh my gosh, are they bonded. I pray with my followers, I sing to my followers, and I don't rewatch them. I press go. If it's really, if I feel very vulnerable, I just press go. And those are the most powerful, for sure.
Yes. No, absolutely. And I love stories. It's just been this past week and a half with all the stress that I have drawn myself out. So this is the good push that I needed, because I know that I need to be out there sharing what's going on and talking about it and trying to give that almost inspiration. But it's been hard. And I think you're right. It's been hard on everyone. So, all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Confide in them. Tell them that you are with them. We say, well, what should you do on stories? Secrets, confessions, vulnerability. You've got it all.
See, and that's hard for someone like me who doesn't do emotion well in general. So it feels like, oh my God, I'm going to be throwing up in all of the stuff that I'm feeling when you're that type of introvert, you're used to keeping that kind of hidden and down deep.
So imagine how much your followers would appreciate it. And imagine also for yourself the growth that it would take you on. Those two things right there are incredibly exciting.
Yes. No, that's absolutely true. And for those that are listening, this is the perfect opportunity, like Julie is saying, to be able to get out there yourselves and talk to people about what you're doing, how you're dealing with it. And no, I think that is so smart. So Julie, you have a cheat sheet for how to post like an Instagram rock star. We're actually going to link to that in the show notes. Can you tell us a bit about what that will help us do?
Absolutely. Well, Jody and I went over it last night and we're like, darn, this is good. I need to have this by my own computer. So it is a very succinct, but very powerful list of our best do's and don'ts that you can print out, have by your computer, have by your phone, wherever it is you do your posting. And they are reminders. Have you done this? Have you done this? Don't forget this. And actually, inside this one document are some secret best practices that people don't know. That's why we're like, whoa, this is good. We hadn't revisited it, in a few months, and we've just been so busy with our course. We're like, oh yeah, this is good. So we highly recommend it. I'm going to print it out and get it because there was something on there. I was like, oh, I forgot that. So you do forget, you're going along and these things.
Absolutely. So now where are the best places to follow along with you?
The Design Twins Teach is our latest account where we share Monday through Friday on stories. We share tips. We answer questions on how to grow your Instagram. We don't hold anything back. And we share inspiration, motivation, and insider secrets on how to grow an authentic, engaged following.
Perfect. I love it. We are going to make sure to link to all three of those Instagram accounts in the show notes. So that we have
our blog. I'm sorry.
No, of course.
Oh, yeah. And then our blog is thedesigntwins.com. And we have over 45 Instagram-related help posts. They're all updated. They share how we grew and all the topics like hashtags and when to post and how to collaborate and everything.
Excellent. All right. Very good. Julie, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I know we both have a lot of crazy going on, like the rest of the world with kids in and out and all the craziness. So I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and my audience. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. I wish you safety and prayers for the whole world to get us through this scary time.
Thank you. All right. Well, there you have it. I'm sure you all enjoyed the fact that I was getting some coaching done live as well and was told as soon as we got off that I needed to make sure I got onto stories to talk a little bit about what's been going on here with my conference that got turned into a virtual summit, as well as some of the stressors that are just happening across the country with having kids home and still needing to get work done. So I appreciate you guys all so much. If you are listening into the podcast, I would love it if you would take a screenshot. You can tag me at Jenny_Melrose, as well as Julie.designtwins, as well as Jody.designtwins, and put it up on your Instagram. We would love to hear what your biggest takeaway was from this episode, and I'm hoping that if you have been avoiding Instagram stories, that you get on it. I am also including in the show notes Julie and Jody's checklist that was included that we talked a little bit about in this episode, as well as my Instagram story planner that can help you keep consistent that I clearly need to be using myself. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you all then.